Hey everyone, it's Jen, and this is your seventh chakra yoga for strength practice. We're going to begin today's practice standing at the front short side of the yoga mat. So if you think you may want to use blocks, you could catch hold of your blocks, place them at the front short side, and then you're going to come to stand in mountain pose. Standing with the feet beneath the frontal hip points, 10 toes facing forward to the front short side, second toes running about parallel to one another. Bring together the hands at the heart center in prayer. Press downward into your feet to feel your spine grow upward, reaching up through the crown of the head. Finding a gazing point. So we associate thought with the seventh chakra. And so to stabilize the movements of the thoughts, you can find an external focal point for the eyes. Steady but soft gaze. Deep inhale and deep exhale. As you breathe in, let your arms sweep down, out to the sides, up by the ears. As you're exhaling, you're gonna let your elbows bend a little bit so that your forearms begin to cross, and the cross of your arms comes behind the head so the elbow points point up. And you're just gonna let your arms reach back out to the sides of the room. We're going to try that again. So you're going to inhale. You can turn your thumbs up, stretch your arms upward by your ears. Start to let your elbows bend so that your forearms cross, the cross of your arms coming behind your head, and then stretching your arms out from your heart. And then one more time, turn your thumbs up, let your arms sweep up long by your ears. Begin to bend at your elbows, cross your forearms, and then sweep your arms back out to the sides. Inhale, let your arms sweep up by your ears, extended mountain pose. Exhale, prayer hands coming through the heart as you bend at your knees and fold your body into forward bend. As you land in the forward bend, take a moment here just to soften the knees a bit. You might even take your hands, opposite hand to opposite elbow, maybe with a gentle sway of your spine from side to side. Some of the poses that we associate with the seventh chakra are postures where the head is below the heart. Pausing there in the center, take a breath in, and as you exhale, let your arms release. As you breathe in, you can let your hands slide up on your shins, reach out through the very crown of the head. And as you exhale, take your left foot, step it back, spinning the back heel down so that you're going to come up into warrior two. Inhale, circle sweep your arms. Turn your body to face the left long side of the yoga mat for dancing warrior flow. So as you inhale, flip up your right palm. You're going to let your left hand either land on your left thigh or allow it to loop behind your low back, palm landing on your right hip. As you exhale, passing through warrior two, leaning out onto your right forearm as your left arm stretches by your ears. So be mindful, there can be this tendency to sink into the forearm, allowing the shoulder to rise high up to the ear. So try to get light through the side of the body and release the shoulder down the back. Inhale as you rise up, left hand to left thigh or loop the arm around the low back. This time coming through warrior two, extended side. So you can lean again out onto the forearm, or you can place the hand to the inner ankle, which is just a little bit deeper. One more round. Inhale, steady the legs and the feet. Rise up into the reverse. And then as you're exhaling, lean out onto the right forearm or right hand to the inner ankle as you stretch through the side of the body. Take the tailbone slightly down. Inhale, rise up into warrior two. Exhale, let your hands come down to frame your front foot. Lift off your back heel. Step your front foot back into downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale and a deep exhale. Keep reaching out long through your spine and through the crown of your head. You can always hold here, or inhale, you can let your hips shift out into plank pose. Knees can remain up or lower them down for modified plank. If the knees are up, exhale, move toward the tips of the toes. Lower down to the chest and the ribs. Untuck the toes. Inhale, curl up from the shoulder blades. Cobra pose, tailbone down. Openness through the throat. Exhale, down dog, either straight back or rock first through table. Coming into down dog, take a few rounds of breath here. Awareness of the spine from the tailbone out through the crown of your head. Taking your last inhalation here. As you're exhaling, you can look forward, bend your knees, walk or take a light hop forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift out through the spine, reach through the crown of your head. Exhale, fold into your legs. As you're breathing in, let your knees bend, sweep your arms up. Now at the top, you're gonna let your elbows cross again, bring the cross of your arms behind your head, and then sweep your arms straight out from your heart. Turn the thumbs to point up, big breath in, sweep your arms by the sides of your face. Begin to cross at your arms. Arms come behind the back of the head, and then let your arms reach out, extending from the center sternum. One more time, point your thumbs up, reach your arms up by your ears, cross at your elbows, loop your arms back behind your head, and sweep your arms out. Take a breath in, stretch your arms back up by your ears. Prayer hands coming through the heart. Let your knees bend, hinge forward over your hips. Pausing there in the forward fold, possibly connect opposite hand to opposite elbow. Maybe take that light sway of your torso from side to side. Pausing in the center, release your arms by your ears. Inhale, halfway lift with your spine, and exhale as you take your right foot, step your right foot back, spin your right heel down to the mat, warrior two legs. Inhale, let your arms cartwheel around, turning your ribs to face the right long side of the yoga mat. Take a breath in, let your left palm flip to the sky, and you can land your right hand on your right thigh, or your right arm might loop behind your low back, hand landing on the left hip. As you're exhaling, passing through the warrior two, let your left forearm lean out onto your left thigh. Take your tailbone slightly down as you reach through your right side body. Breathing in, coming back up through the center, reverse. So right hand to right thigh or right arm looping behind the back. Inhale as you come through the center. Now you can lean onto the forearm, or again, you could take your hand down to the inner ankle. One more time, breathing in, rising up, coming into reverse warrior, right hand on the thigh or behind the low back. Exhaling, coming through the center, left forearm to the thigh or hand to the inner ankle. Activate the right back foot down. Coming back up to the center, warrior two. As you exhale, let your hands cartwheel around. Frame your left foot. Spin off your back right heel. Step your left foot back into downward dog. So as you arrive, just pedal out through your feet. Pedal out through your knees. Now you can always hold here in the downward facing dog, or you can breathe in and let your hips come out into plank pose. So your fingers are spread, the crown of the head reaches forward. Now with the knees up or down, we're gonna lower. So if the knees are up, move to the tips of the toes, let the sternum go forward and then come down, untucking the feet and inhale, curling up from the shoulder blades. Slight lift of your chin, open through your throat, exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, we're gonna take a couple rounds of down dog toe taps here. So keeping the head below the heart and reaching out through the crown of the head, anchor into the left ball of the foot, a little softness in the left knee. Inhale, sweep your right heel up to the sky, and exhale as you allow the right big toe to tap down. Inhale as you send your right heel up, activate your hands strongly down, and exhale, right big toe taps. One more time, inhale, lift the right heel up into the sky. Exhale as you lightly bring the right foot down, downward dog. We're gonna do 3 on the second side. So press into your hands, ground into your right ball of the foot. Inhale, send your left heel up, down dog split. Exhale, lightly tap the left big toe. Inhale as you send your left heel up. Exhale, lightly tap the toe. One more time, inhale, reach the left heel up. And as you exhale, allow your left foot to come down. Let the weight equalize across both balls of the feet. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, look up to your hands. Let your knees bend a little bit, walk or lightly hop your feet forward. Inhale as you lengthen out through your spine halfway. And then exhale as you fold into your legs. Now here, if you like the blocks on the under the hands, we're gonna take a standing split flow. The hands can also just be on the mat. So you're gonna let your weight come into your left foot. You're gonna breathe in and send your right heel up toward the sky. So almost resembling like a warrior 3 here. So you're gonna reach the crown of the head forward as you reach the right heel back. Now, as you exhale, both knees are gonna begin to bend and your right knee is gonna hook behind your left knee. The right ball of the foot might even come down to lightly touch, so you can take your hips down just a little bit more, bringing the body in toward your top left thigh. And then as you inhale, you're gonna begin to re-extend your right leg back. Reach long through the crown of the head and feel your shoulders slightly sliding down your back. And then as you exhale again, bend both knees, hook your right knee behind your left knee. Let the ball of the foot come down and take your left ribs down into your left thigh. And then one more time, inhale, can send the right leg back behind you, reach out long through the crown of your head. And then as you exhale, you're gonna take your knees, bend your right knee behind your left, plant the right ball of the foot down, lower the hips down into this variation of a squat. And then as you inhale, let the right leg re-extend, reach out through the crown of your head, and exhale, plant your right foot down. So as you come into forward fold, soften your knees for a moment and inhale, sweep your arms up by your ears. So at the top, just let your arms sweep back behind you. Let your hands land on your low back. Draw your thumbs toward one another. Draw your tailbone slightly down. So as that happens, the pubic bone will slightly tip upward toward the bottom of the chest bone. And then you want to just lift up through your heart, just a standing back bend. Take another inhale, openness across the front of the body. Exhale, your hands can stay as they are, but begin to bend your knees. Let your torso hinge out over your legs. Reach long through the crown of your head and then coming forward. Standing split flow on the second side. So ground into your right sole of your foot. Inhale, send your left heel back behind you. Lift your belly away from your thighs and reach out long through the crown of the head. Now, as you're exhaling, bend both knees, hook the left knee behind the right, take the hips low, feel the right rib case sink down into the right ribs. And then as you inhale, Send your left leg back up behind you. Reach out long through your spine, long through the crown of your head. And then as you're breathing out, hook the left knee behind the right and take the hips, lower them toward the floor, that squat position. And one more time. Inhale, send the left leg up and back. Reach out long through the crown of the head. And then as you exhale, allow both knees to bend. Hook the left knee behind the right, ground into the ball of the foot, and sink the hips down. Inhale, send the left leg back behind you, lift up through the heel, feel the back of the left thigh lift up to the sky, reach through the crown of the head. Exhale as the left foot comes down, bow into the body, forward fold. As you're breathing in, allow your knees to bend, reach out through your spine, reach up through your arms, staying upright, but sweeping the hands down. This time the hands can come to the low back again, or you might interlock your hands together, slightly draw your palms together, send your knuckles down and tip your chin slightly up, opening through the channel of the throat. Take a breath in, exhale, begin to bend at your knees, hinge your torso forward, bringing the ribs into the thighs, the chest toward the bottoms of the thighs or the knees, and the face in toward the knees and shins. Now take a breath in, begin to release your hands, so the hands come down. Lift the belly away from the thighs, lift halfway, and as you're exhaling, step your feet back into downward facing dog. Okay, so we're going to take the inhale. We're going to let the weight come into the left ball of the foot one more time. We're going to sweep the right leg up into down dog split. So this time we're going to add in some abdominal work with some down dog knee contraction. So here's your breath in, and as you're exhaling, you want to curl your right knee in toward your chest. Draw your belly button in, nose and knee move toward one another as you round your spine. Inhale as you send your right heel up to down dog split. And then exhale as you curl your right knee and your nose toward one another. Activate your hands and round through your spine. Inhale as you send your right heel up to the sky. This time, exhale, stepping the right foot through. We're just going to take a twist here. So ground into the left hand on the earth or a block. You're going to slide your right hand to your right hip, turn through the belly and the ribs. And so one thing to notice is there can be a strong tendency to really sink the hips down. So I'm going to invite you to press really strong into the back left ball of the foot and feel the back of your left thigh lift up toward the ceiling. So the sink of the hips is not quite so deep and you feel more stabilized. Maybe stretch your right arm up to the sky, spanning open across the heart. Exhale, right hand coming down, right foot stepping back, downward dog. The weight is landing in the right ball of the foot. Take a breath in, sweep your left heel up into down dog split. Exhale as you curl your knee into your chest, press into your hands, draw your shoulder blades apart, round your spine. Inhale as you send your left heel back up, down dog split. And as you're exhaling, curl your left knee in, press into your hands and round through your spine. Inhale as you send your left heel back up. This time we're going to draw the left knee into the chest, step the left foot all the way through, grounding down into your right hand, slide your left hand up to your left hip. So again, the same thing, press into the back ball of the foot, feel the back of the left thigh lift up toward the ceiling. And then stabilizing through the front left foot and back right ball of the foot, maybe stretch your left arm to the sky. Take a deep round of inhale. And then exhale, lower your left hand down, step your left foot back, down dog. Deep inhalation. Deep exhalation. One more breath in. Exhale, lightly lower your knees to tabletop. Inhale, release your belly down to the mat, lift up through your heart. Exhale, press into your hands. Draw your tailbone under, round through your spine. Inhale, come to neutral. Come down to the elbows and the forearms for dolphin pose. Press your hands together or interlock your hands together. Let your forearms start to press down as you tip the belly down to the floor. Now, as you're exhaling, you're going to press into the balls of your feet and press your forearms down. So you're going to draw your belly in, and you want to lift your knees up into the dolphin pose. So like downward dog, but down on the elbows and the forearms. And you want an angle from your elbows to your shoulders versus your shoulders being forward of the elbows. So you can always modify by taking a downward facing dog instead of this pose. Or if you find the shoulders are really far forward, you might have to bend in the knees so that you can get more length through your spine, reaching out through the crown of the head. Deep inhale. And a deep exhale. Good. Feel your elbows, forearms press downward a little bit, and then take one more breath in. And then as you exhale, let your knees come down into tabletop, and you're going to rise back up onto your hands for a moment. As you come to your hands, you're going to inhale, release your belly to the floor, lift up through your heart. Exhale, pressing into your hands, draw your tailbone under and round through your spine. Inhale as you come to neutral. So you're going to come down onto the elbows and the forearms again for either a repeat of dolphin or the possibility of taking a headstand. So here you want to either bring your hands together in prayer or interlock them together. So I always love to start with that cow tilt. So inhale, you might release your belly, feel the tops of your thigh bones anchored back. Creates a grounding through the pelvis and the legs. And then as you exhale, press into the balls of the feet, press down into your elbows, forearms, and begin to lift your knees. And so you could start to walk your toes in a little bit. So remember, for dolphin, you want that angle from your elbows to your shoulders. You might stay there, working with that just a little bit. Now, it's also a possibility of bringing the head down to that space between the forearms. And that may be your position. So you do want to be able to maintain majority of the weight on the elbows and the forearms with a very light touch of the crown of the head down. Now, I like to put the weight into the left ball of the foot, send the right heel up, and that may be your pose right there. Put a small bend into your left knee and a light press off of the left foot to bring the left leg also up to meet the right. So most of the weight is balanced in my elbows and my forearms. Just like mountain pose, I will draw my heels slightly, or my tailbone rather, slightly down toward my heels. You want to come out with just as much mindfulness as you used to come in. So you might keep one leg up and simply bring one leg down. And then that ball of the foot can lightly come down. And then the other knee can draw into the chest, and you want to bring your body into child's pose. Keeping the head down for a few moments to reduce any feelings of dizziness, lightheadedness. Last inhale and exhale. Okay, and then you want to let your body start to shift back up to hands and knees. You're going to bring your hips around to one side. Let your legs swing out in front of you. Come down onto your spine. Okay, so as you come down, let your knees bend. Let your feet come flat and stretch your arms out to the side, and then windshield wiper your knees from side to side. Point your knees up to the ceiling, approximately line your heels up with your sitting bones, and then you're going to allow your arms to come down by your sides. Let your elbows bend so your forearms and palms are looking at one another. You're going to activate down through the arms and elbows, through your feet, and breathe in. Let your hips elevate into the bridge pose. So you can stay here, giving some activation to the backs of the arms and a light lift through the chest. If you want, you can start to move your shoulders a little closer together so that the hands can interlock together. Feel the lift of your sternum toward your chin and feel the tailbone slightly drawing down toward the space between the two knees. Last inhale and exhale. Slowly releasing the interlock of your hands, taking a breath in, and as you exhale, let your hips come down to the floor. Take your arms, widen them out to the sides, take your feet wide, and windshield wiper your knees from right to left. Okay, let your knees point to the ceiling, heels line with sitting bones. Go ahead, take your right thigh in toward your right ribs. Loop your hands across the front of your shin bones. Send your left leg out along the floor. Hold your left hand to your right knee and shin bones. Open your right arm and twist the right leg over to the left. Single leg spinal twist. Okay, take a breath in and a last breath out. Come back through the center. Hug your right thigh in, hug your left thigh in. Little rock across your low back. Okay, we're gonna keep the left knee and thigh drawn in, plant the right foot down, and then slowly sliding the right leg out across the floor. So left arm's gonna open out to the left, right hand is holding on to your left shin bones, and you're gonna draw your leg across the body, spinal twist. Feel the weight of your left arm drop down toward the floor as you create opening through the left side chest. Okay, a deep inhale and a deep exhale. So we're gonna breathe in, come back to the center with the left leg, hug the left leg and the right leg into the body. We're going to move into the last pose, happy baby, with the possibility of upward wide angle. So separate the knees, stack the ankles over the knees, reach the soles of the feet upward into the hands. You can also hold around your ankles or your shin bones and just feel the heels press up to the ceiling, and also feel the tailbone reach down toward the front short side of your yoga mat. You can stay here. You can begin to take the legs into reclined upward wide angle by stretching the legs more into that middle split position. You can adjust your hands as needed. Hold your hands around your ankles, your calves, your inner or outer thighs. Tailbone is still reaching down toward the front short side of the mat. Feel the shoulder blades and the back of your head release downward. Take a breath in and a last breath out. You can begin to allow your knees to start to bend. Draw your knees and your thighs back in toward your ribs. You can place your feet down onto the floor, widen your arms, and sway your knees from side to side. Okay, so you're going to stretch the legs out long on the mat. Bring your arms down by your sides, turning your palms to face upward toward the ceiling. Let the weight of your body release down. Release any tension from around your eyes and your forehead. Taking a deep round of inhale and exhale. Allowing your knees to bend so that your feet can come flat. Transitioning your body to the right or to the left. And then pressing your hands down so that you can rise up to your seat. As you rise, join your palms at your heart. The light within me bows to that same light that exists within you. Namaste.